Who are you?
Oh, I'm sorry. My card.
You know how the 80s and 90s gave us the wildest, loudest, most over-the-top comic book characters ever? Well, none of them screamed louder than Lobo.
L as in lacerate, O as in obliterate, B as in disembowel, and O as in I guess I can use obliterate twice.
DC's intergalactic biker, bounty hunter, and all-around main man. That was what I am drawing today. I am drawing DC Comics' Lobo. That's right. And we'll call him a 90s character. He appeared in The Adventures of Superman in 1996, if I'm not mistaken, in the episode The Main Man. And this is what he looks like in that cartoon. So we'll file this under the category of 90s characters, okay? He's crude, he's violent, and he's way too awesome to ever fit into a family-friendly cartoon. Today, I am bringing Lobo back in my most detailed style, okay? This piece is a tribute to that heavy metal 90s comic book energy, the era that made me fall in love with comics in the first place. I'm just the box office artist. I'm 25 years as a professional artist, former Marvel artist, former DC artist, working on titles like The Hulk, Wonder Woman. I worked on Transformers for a long time. I worked in movies like Watchmen, Percy Jackson, Underworld, Furious 7, and YouTuber now for 12 years. And I'm just having a lot of fun these days. And these days, I am focusing on cartoons. 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s cartoon. What's your favorite cartoon? Why don't you let me know in the comments down below, and maybe I'll draw it in the next video. So let's get to know who Lobo is, and we'll get to know him soon enough. He's going to appear in the upcoming Supergirl movie played by Jason Momoa, who played Aquaman in the DCEU. Now in James Gunn universe, he's going to be playing Lobo. Now, Lobo first blasted into the scene in 1983, created by Roger Slifer and Keith Giffen. He started out as a parody, a joke on the violent, macho anti-heroes that dominated the comics in the 80s. But guess what? He's so cool, fans loved him so much, he became exactly what he was making fun of. Lobo is a guy who doesn't care about being a superhero. He's just out there riding his space motorcycle, hunting bounties across the galaxy, and making Superman's life miserable. Now, the 90s was a great era for me because the 90s, that's where I fell in love with comics. I started comics later in life. I started in high school, and there was just something about the 90s that was like the Wild West of comics at the time. Big guns, bigger muscles, characters with more spikes than sense. I loved the spikes. I loved the pouches. That was 90s comic book character, and every artist was going to the extreme, and I absolutely loved it. It's what wanted me to become a comic book artist in the first place. Now, Lobo is a poster child of that kind of era. He had it all. Leather jacket, chains, skull belt buckle, you know? And this is why I wanted to draw him, okay? I'm shifting my channel to a focus that's on the golden era of pop culture. 80s, 90s, 2000s, and Lobo is definitely one of those characters that really fits into that. Now, if you're new to Lobo, let me talk about Lobo for a little bit, okay? This guy's storylines are beyond insane, my friends. So let me tell you some facts about Lobo that are kind of cool, okay? Let's go with that. So here's fact number one. Lobo is actually Stan Lee's favorite DC character. This one's strange but true. Of all the characters in the pantheon of DC Comics, Lobo is not the first one that would spring to anyone's mind when thinking about Stan Lee's favorite character. But yet, Stan has gone on the record a few times to say how he finds Lobo unique, and if there was any DC character he wishes he created, it's Lobo, the main man. Now, Lobo was first created as a villain, okay? He made a first appearance in 1983's Omega Man number 3. He led a group of bounty hunters in an attack on the Omega Men's mothership, where they ended several crew members. Now, let's talk about Superman the Animated Series. Lobo made his jump to the small screen in 1996 and was made by the creative team behind Batman the Animated Series. He first appeared in the appropriately titled The Main Man and was voiced by Brad Garrett from Everyone Loves Raymond. Now, Lobo originally was a parody. Like, his name translates as "He who devours your entrails enjoys it thoroughly." Okay? He's completely and utterly arrogant and self-obsessed. Co-creator Keith Giffen said he had no clue why Lobo became so popular, as we created him as an indictment of those excessively violent and extreme characters. But in the end, it seemed like comic book fans didn't get the joke and simply loved Lobo for the same reasons as all those other characters. You know, one character that I loved growing up was a character called Blood Wolf. Okay, Blood Wolf was created by Rob Liefeld, the creator of Deadpool. He also created Youngblood. Like, Image Comics is what got me into comics. And they had a character named Blood Wolf. It was published in Darker Image #1, and he pretty much was a parody or a complete ripoff of Lobo, okay? But the thing is, it's 2025, and I'm still waiting for Darker Image #2. I don't think it ever came out. Here's another fun fact. Lobo fought Wolverine, and he lost, okay? There's a crossover. Marvel and DC have crossed over throughout the years, okay? And in this one, and in 1996, Lobo clashed with Wolverine in a brawl. But disappointingly, Wolverine won their fight pretty easily, and most of it occurred off-panel. Well, what can you do? Lobo was involved with a lot of intercompany crossover events. For example, Lobo crossed over with Aliens and Predator. He also crossed over with Judge Dredd. And he also got involved with The Mask. That's right, Jim Carrey and Lobo. What? I'd like to see that movie. And then let's talk briefly about Lobo becoming a movie. Like, it's been in development for quite a long time, right? There's always been some sort of live-action Lobo in the development, like since 2009. Like, Guy Ritchie, who directed Sherlock Holmes, he was thought to be directing, but then he went on to direct another movie. Brad Payton, who directed Rampage back in 2012, he wanted to direct Lobo, and even The Rock was he was kind of in talks to star, but that broke down. And even Michael Bay, he was courted to do something like that, but he wanted too much money. And finally, we are actually going to see Lobo now by the man who's really meant to play this character. Jason Momoa is going to be playing him in Supergirl. And here it is, the main man himself. Now, I drew this live on my live stream like quite a while ago. I believe this was like back in January, but I went back and I added a whole bunch of detail to it. Like, I looked back at a lot of those older drawings I did in the live streams, and I felt that I could have added more to it. It didn't feel as finished, so I took a bit of time, took a few hours, and actually detailed up this particular drawing here. Like, I really wanted to add my heart and soul into this drawing and to a lot of the drawings that I've done. Bring it back to the quality that I'm used to, and I brought it to the point where I'm very, very happy with it, to the point where I want to keep everything as traditional as possible these days, especially with the advent of AI out there. Sometimes, these AI images are way better than something I could do. So I want to show you guys that this is all traditional, and this is all my hand putting it all together, and I definitely had a lot of fun putting this together. Because Lobo is a great representation of how I became an artist, right? It's the 90s. It brings that energy back. You grew up with characters like Spawn, Cable, Venom, Lobo, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. So if you want to see more 80s and 90s icons drawn by myself, okay, in a detailed style, hit that subscribe button, drop a comment telling me who you want me to draw next, and let's bring that era back together. Until next time, my name is James. I am the Box Office Artist. I'm here to say keep drawing. I'll see you all next time.